Hey everyone, it's time for another entertaining poker video. Our hand today is taken from the Cash Game Festival that took place in Bratislava in 2018. We begin the hand pre-flop with Eunice raising 3 times the blind with pocket 4, probably raise the pot but also play with as few players possible. You need to know how to play with a small pair, especially when you haven't made your set, so Eunice here tries his luck, yet also wants to dilute the table, not taking any risk against many players. David, with 9-7 diamond suit calls, a nice hand for a possible straight or a medium flush, and Valentine also calls with King-7 spade suit, that is the big blind and already invested in the pot, not a lot to call here. Now, basically, a hand like King-7 is not that great, and unless you're in position or playing maybe heads up, even if it is suited like in our case. There is no possible straight here, and if you make a pair of kings, your kicker is very low and not sure you're the best at the table. Only a flush here makes a very strong hand, but he won't pay a big raise to pray for a flush trying to catch 3 cards. Now, let's go to the flop. Flop comes 5 King-6 with the 5 and 6 spade suited, making this a great flop for the table. Valentine is first to act, only checks although he has the top pair with the king and also a king flush draw, dominating the flop and the hand at the moment. He has a few possibilities here. 1. He can check the flop, hoping maybe another player will bet, so he'll raise him, thus check raise, or just call him and lure him into 4th street, the turn, to try and get even more value and chips there. 2. He can value bet here, make a small bet to have another player call or even raise him, enlarging the pot and go to the turn with more money on the table. Eunice, with his pocket 4s, checks as well. He didn't make this set and he does not want to risk more cash here, hoping to see the turn for free. David checks as well, although I think he could have bet here, having the gotcha straight draw and with everyone checking, representing he has something after the flop. Of course, I'm guessing a bet from David would have left only Valentine in this hand, who would have called or even raised him. So, because David is less to act, he too wants to see the turn for free, and checking here leads us to the turn. Again, he could have bet here and also see where he currently stands in this table with his hand, but I guess he preferred not to contribute any money and go see the free turn, hoping to maybe make it straight. Turn comes the 2 of clubs, which now gives Eunice a straight draw. Valentine checks with the best hand again, I'm assuming hoping someone will fire here, while is representing passive play and weakness, hoping someone will try to bluff maybe, and then Valentine will call the bet or even raise. Eunice, although improving its hand now with a possible straight on top of his pair, decides to check again, as he's probably given up trying to bluff and just waiting for the set or a straight. It's a passive play that won't help him win. You have to make moves or at least try, thus getting your opponents, or some of them, out of the hand and knowing your position in the hand as well. You can't just wait for good cards to win at poker.
And yeah, that's who we are. I mean, what can I say? Wait, I was getting, how much was Lappin up yesterday on PLO? I believe he was up just under 4K. I think it was like around like 750, 800 big blinds. If you actually head over to Poker News, you'll be able to find the most recent article from the Cash Game Festival about yesterday's big winner. So yeah, just jumping back into the hand though, Valentine flopping top pair and a flush draw. David though, after it checks through to him twice, deciding to bet out 55 with his gut shot, and Eunice deciding to.
David now decides to bet a bit more than half the pot, which is a good move. He still has the straight draw and he can't stay passive to the end to win here. Valentine calmly calls with the best hand, no worries for him, and silently we get to see Eunice the player here as he decides not to fold or even call, but raises almost 4 times the bet. David knows his hand is not good now and it's too expensive to call in order to chase the gut shot, smartly folds the hand. He tried his move, got re-raised, and so the fold was the correct move before the river. No need to try and bluff here, there are a lot more hands to play. Younes, on the other hand, surprised us here with his awesome raise. We were sure he has given up on the hand and just trying to catch a free card to improve his pair, but now he's decided to make a move of his own. Probably because everyone checked all the way and David's bet got Valentine only to call here, Younes thought he may make a huge bet here and take down the pot, sensing no strength from the other players. Younes also raised pre-flop if you remember, so with such a bet here, all of a sudden, he wants the other players to put him on a strong hand.
Yes. Trying to turn his hand into a bluff. Raised it up with the pocket fours. He is a non-believer.
Gets a quick call from Valentine though.
Valentine calls to see the river. He has the best hand at the moment with his pair of kings, although it is possible that Younes is already sitting with a set. Maybe he raised pre-flop with pocket fives or pocket sixes, so Valentine is only calling here to see if he improves his hand to a huge flush, because he knows too that maybe Younes is already sitting with a set or drawing for the flush as well. Valentine is not afraid of the spade flush as he has the king of spades, but maybe Younes is drawing for the club flush, hence the big bet.
Valentine going out with his top pair and a flush draw, gets on the river, and Younes also rivers a straight. This could be sick. 550 in the middle already.
We go to the river, which is an action river by all means. The river comes the three of spades, which gives Valentine his king high flush, but also improves Younes' hand to a straight. Valentine plays very smart here, as he only checks, knowing this will bring a bet from Younes. He's showing insecurity, not trying to bluff or bet, and as if he's given up on the hand. He also only called Younes' bet on the turn, as if trying to catch a card, and by checking the river, representing it did not come, and is sort of surrendering here. Younes is probably thinking that Valentine could still have something, maybe a pair, a missed flush, but he really has to fear only the spade flush, as his straight beats all other hands, instead a higher straight, but Valentine probably does not hold the 4-7. Younes has a very good hand now. It's not just the pair of fours he started with, but he now has a straight, and because Valentine checked the river, he can bet to win the pot.
He's turning his hand into a bluff. You know, he shouldn't have many fours in his range. Moves all in, probably going to get snapped. He does get snap called from Valentine, gets the bad news.
We see him taking some time to think. Maybe he's a little afraid of the spade flush, but then he decides to go all in and gets snap called by Valentine, who smartly lured him in with the check on the river. Younes was in a tough spot here really. The river gave him a great hand with the straight, but it also gave a possible flush on the table. Valentine checked the river, meaning he either missed his card or he is check calling or check raising here. If Younes wasn't sure with his hand and was afraid of the flush, he could have checked as well, losing a minimum amount of money and not risking more on the river, or betting a small amount, value betting, and see how Valentine acts next. Betting the all-in means he was probably sure he had the best hand here and thought Valentine has at least a pair, so he may call him and thus allowing Younes to win more money. This was not an all-in bet to get Valentine out of the hand, because he either had the best hand with the flush or he had any other hand, which means Younes has beaten him. I say Younes was pretty sure he had the best hand with the straight, bet on the turn and went all in on the river to show strength and win the hand, but got called by Valentine with a great check on the river with a monster king high flush, luring Younes to make this move and eventually losing a lot, too much. Had Younes made a value bet, and I'm guessing got raised by Valentine, he would have stopped to think that maybe Valentine does have the flush. But he was so sure in his hand and that his straight is the best hand that he went all in to get more value from Valentine, who probably had something but not the flush, so he may call him. There is of course also the possibility that Younes put Valentine on a low flush, so betting the all-in was intended to scare him off the hand, representing a higher flush than Valentine's. Valentine did eventually call him, but he also took all his chips. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed this fine hand, the action river, and our analysis, and would love to hear your own thoughts and insights about the hand. For more interesting and entertaining videos, please like our videos, share, comment and subscribe to View on Poker channel that will keep uploading more interesting and entertaining hands for you on a regular basis. Have a great day.